and we are here to do earth signs. I know it took a bit of time. I'm sorry for the delay. My head's cut off, so I'll just wait for everyone to connect. For those of you that don't know, I'm Yildiz from Yildiz Readings 5D. I'm a psychic medium. We tune into the energy at the moment for mid-month, for those of you that are earth signs. Yes, this can pertain to astrological aspects playing out as well with Uranus going direct. But again, we'll get into that, okay? So this is for you guys that are earth signs. Now, I've pulled the cards, I've meditated upon them, I'm looking at the energy, and it looks like there's a conflict of interest going on. There's a differing of views. And look, your crowning energy is success, but there's a missing link. And this has been a synchronistic thing that's been playing out in the last week. It's like a missing element to the puzzle. Something that isn't being shown to you right away. Potentially a lesson, potentially something of some trickery going on that maybe we hadn't seen before. Now, there is an adjustment going on for earth signs. Hi, Lois. There's an adjustment going on here. So there's adjustment to plans. And again, as I said, this can pertain to Uranus going direct because it's in Taurus. And the one thing coming through is, yes, you're going to have your happy ending. Yes, you're going to have victory, but it's a different subject now. So there's been some sort of shake-up, some sort of change, both with the eclipse in Cancer and the conjunction in Capricorn with Saturn and Pluto. There's been an alteration of the map, so to speak, for everyone collectively. So, this could be a very emotional thing. Hi, Justine. Hi, Stefan. It could be a very spiritual thing. It could be an internal thing. Again, the energies can swap. So if this is someone you're tuning into or your surrounding energies, it could even be you. It's the way it plays out. Unless it's a private reading. I will answer questions at the end. And if you do want to give me a super chat for a question, that's fine too. I'll do that at the end. But I tend to like to flow into the video, especially during the live sessions, to get the energy out to you ASAP. Now, the crowning energy is the Six of Wands. With this is about victory, okay? And again, the moon energy, and it's Saturn Pluto. So look, potentially with Pluto involved in the situation with the conjunction, there can be fear-mongering. There can be, look, automatically there is a shift happening in the collective. That's a reality. Change is happening all the time. How that comes about, yes, being spiritual energies and pertaining to how you've evolved, it will bode better depending on how ascended you are. And all of us can have a direct input in how that transforms. So, when we're thinking in terms of victim consciousness collectively, and we're looking at situations playing out, in a 3D world, yes, there can be things that we think that are out of our control, but we all have voices, and the nodes are going into Gemini, so that'll be interesting. Anyway, that aside, the energy of Pluto coming through on this card is to do with endings, births, deaths, endings. That's the good old Pluto, okay? So with this scenario, both the eclipse in Cancer and the conjunction in Capricorn, the frequency coming through is something that's being shown to you from universe. You might have tried this several different ways, but there, again, I keep saying this, especially coming through on the cards. There could be 3 areas of your life that you're trying to balance, 3 areas that you're trying to change. And very common things that are coming through at a very hone-in level is, work, finances, and definitely families and our emotional body. So there can be a lot of solar plexus activity going on due to the fact that we had the eclipse in Cancer. And definitely base chakra when it does come to movement and things to that degree. I am feeling there might be movement connecting to tribes, okay? Hi, Dale. So this could be, again, yet a family connection. There could be a movement of friendship groups. There could also be a lot of meditation very much linking in with these energies and what it meant in the past versus where you're going now. So again, I'm seeing a realignment of a map. And again, with eclipse energies, they don't happen right away. They can happen a few weeks before, and it can be a streaming effect where from the previous eclipse in Cancer, moving into the last one we just had, It's closing out that cycle, but it's redirecting that path. So it's an ending and a new beginning simultaneously. Now, yes, it can come within the next 6 weeks. This is the energy tuning in between now, and I am feeling almost into the first week of Feb, but I will be doing the new videos and the updated energy, so you can still use both. For some of you, there is a tribe-orientated dynamic going on that is shifting, evolving, growing, and changing. It can mean a few things. It can mean leaving people behind. It can mean just no longer resonating with certain groups, cultures, frequencies, and being attracted to other groups, cultures, frequencies. It also could pertain to a family-related dynamic and something that hasn't finalized and an old frequency coming up. But I am feeling as though you've got your eye on the prize, you've shifted your map in your life in general, and your hopes, dreams, and goals are very different. Now, this could have been going on for 5 years, okay? And a lot of the subject matters of transformation spiritually, a lot of us have been changing probably from 2012, quite heavily in 2017. And now we're moving through 2020 into 2020. And it's for the next 2 years. Yes, we do have a transformative state. The next card you got is the Page of Wands. Now, what I'm picking coming through with this is you want to get a hurry along. Potentially you could be feeling a little bit more energetic. Or in general, you want some things to shift in life and you're anticipating things and you're tuning into, do I start moving? Do I need to proceed forward? Do I need to make contact? Is there something energetically I need to do? But you, no matter what, internally wish to move forward. It could be move away from situations, move away from toxic dynamics, things that aren't resonating with you, and shift things around. Some of you still may have felt fatigued, and this energy is yet to come. But internally, this is the frequency that's coming through. It's like really wanting to get a hurry along, wanting to understand a lot of what is happening around you to gain the clarity. But some of it's hidden from you, which is kind of the muck around. It's almost like universe has the joke on us sometimes, but it's not that that's what's being done to you. You can only really deal, and that's the art of detachment. Only knowing what you have in front of you is the art of being present in the moment. And every situation that does play out simultaneously does directly evolve you. So even though the end goal is victory, that's your intuitive mindset. You've already sent that into the ethers. So yes, you're going to attain that. But it doesn't mean to say you won't be met with adversity, challenges, situations that are going to play out, but each one of you is taking you to this moment. It's your overall crowning energy. This can also be meditation in the past of where success was versus how you're going to have to change in order to continue that frequency forward. How are you able to evolve through that process to grow? Now, with the nodes being in Capricorn, it has really asked us, and especially in Jupiter now, the way we're looking at growth, the way we're looking at dealing with our lives, within relationships, all of those things, especially with Jupiter in that energy, it's taking on a whole different frequency, whereby you're taking accountability. And it's almost like the astrology in a sense that is kind of making a situation harder. Doesn't have to be that this is what's going on. This is an example to show you truthfully what's really important to you. It's like, okay, well, if you're having to apply a lot of energy to a situation, it better be bloody important. So it's realistic. It's very much almost Venus direct, rose-colored glasses taken off. I know how I feel. Okay, this is where the value's at. That's the energy that's coming through here. So with the Page of Wands, you're thinking about it, but it's almost like when you've had a spiritual walk-in, you're going through the psychological aspect of things. You're tuning into it and you're thinking, okay, well, what do I need to do? How do I feel about the past? How do I feel about the future? This is like you've all thought about it. You're like, you've been up there way too long. You're trying to be in the moment and you're just looking at the map and you're like, that's where I'm going. I want to go now. I want to go now. there can be people pushing you to move, people pushing you to grow, people pushing you to do certain things. And you could want to actually remove yourself from these individuals where you feel they are putting pressure on you energetically. This could even just be yourself, putting pressure on yourself that you need to get a move on. I'm seeing her looking at the floor. Now, something ended. This, again, it can be very spiritual. It can be very much mindset. Now, some of you, yes, might have had a loved one who's passed over. I can see that energy coming through. Some of you, some of those energies, obviously, through the Cancer Moon, those subject matters can come up because it is connected in within a child. It also, the veil is very thin at the moment. So spiritually speaking, we can be tuning into, I wonder what mother would have said. I wonder what father would have said. I wonder what they would have done in these situations, whoever they is to you or them. Now, 9 times out of 10, when you're tuning into that, if you directly do know that person, they can communicate through the ethers to you, but it comes in a very synchronistic way where it's almost like memories. They utilize the memories you had with them, and a memory will pop up in a jog sense towards you. With that frequency coming through, you need to hold on to that and understand that that's their means of communicating with you. Other ways as you develop that, it can come to you. But they are with you, guiding you, even if you're trying to process that factor. But there are some old plans being buried and you're tuning into them like you wish you could have done something differently, but you're different now, so the outcome isn't going to be the same. You're a very different person. Some of you, this is directly a spiritual walk-in where even if you wanted to go back to an old way of being, you just know spiritually you can't. And it can feel, I'm not feeling the energy of being frightened. I'm feeling, and this song came through before in one of the videos I did. I can't remember which one it was. It was Adele, Hello. Look at the way she's looking at the floor. She's very at peace with it, very matter of fact, after the fact, seeing some things in perspective. You know, some people can look at that song and say, hey, this is about a loved one. And yeah, I swear there's undertones of that. She's quite very much like an artist of olden times. They would hide synchronistic messages inside their paintings and in their lyrics. So yes, there could be a spiritual healing in writing right now for you guys. There can also be in lyrics. There can be some spiritual healing. There can be messages sent to you. There's also looking at it from where you were to where you're going. When you're having a spiritual walk-in and you've made peace with it, you know you can never go back to that way of being ever again. And it can feel very sad. It's the death of your old life, a bit like in Vikings where Lagertha was told by the witch doctor, you cannot go back to your old life. We can never go back. We can only go forward. Our minds are thinking of the past, and that's when we're healing. That's when we're seeking comfort and refuge. But we will see that again one day, but on the other side, theoretically. But we are present in this state, and we do need to proceed forward. There can be an energy around you where either in the way you're perceiving something or thinking of it, there may be some energies around you in general that are quite in their ego, quite cutting with their words. There might have been regret as to the way communication was, and it can be actually playing out now. You've got the Knight of Pentacles. So this could be a male energy. Regrets of past tense communication. This can be you or them. However this plays out. But in general, there can be people around you. It can be where you're feeling quite frustrated at the moment and you're a bit short with your speech. Which again, because of the process of your frustration, again, I'm feeling this is other people, to be quite honest. You may be focusing so heavy on work or the spiritual work, but I'm feeling this could be employment, really focused in on a situation that other things around you have been playing out. Now, this could be you or another person. Now, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. You know, in the upright is where the person is really understanding the process. It's more a spiritual process. It's a practical process in a sense of, going through the motions, learning things as you go, learning from your mistakes. In the reverse, this is where the energy is thinking polar opposite to a spiritualist. And we're all spiritual. It's just we've got different ways of doing that. I'm hearing it's not what you say, it's what you do. There can be some of you that are really working quite hard at the moment, and really what's going on is if you're going through a transformative state, you're going to start waking up at 3 a.m., right? And this can be very inconvenient, but it generally happens because there's a pain body experience that's going on. And you have a lot going on around you, so you must dig in and get everything done. And if you find yourself overcorrecting things, it's where something deeper at a spiritual level is going on. And it's the only thing, it's where someone's taking your control away from you. So the only thing you directly can control can be your direct environment, and you go into spring cleaning. So it's like psychotic spring cleaning. I've been there myself. And it can come up in a pain body experience because there's a wound that's there that's quite painful. This can be another person, other people, or you. But there is a slight imbalance due to a scenario that's played out. And again, I am feeling you guys have been going through quite a bit lately. You're doing your best. You're in alignment. You're stepping up. You're trying to move forward. Whatever your direct plan is, and whatever this process is, whatever you're going through, and I'm also getting another message, okay. If there has been someone that has passed over and there is an energy of a contract that needs reading, you need to read the fine print, because next month we're having Mercury retrograde, and you'll have that frequency already. It's going to be retrograde in Pisces, so again, it is relating into the 12th house activation. This can be messages directly connected from loved ones passed over. We're going to have Venus and Aries as well, so our pain body experiences are going to be different. They're going to be very much from our own direct point of view. In relationships, looking at directly what you want, but you've got to be careful with the balance there. So there's caution. You need to look over the plan that you made. What your plan was initially, it's the Magician, right? Especially with Jupiter being in Capricorn. Things won't come as easily as they used to, and it's because situations have changed, but it's a different way. Universe gives us an opportunity to integrate a new way of doing something. It's almost like going to high school, going to university, going to upskill. It's upskilling to the high degree. You may think more. The more you put in, the more you'll get out, but you're getting the polar opposite. There's a flawed pretense in this plan. And it's not that you're doing it on purpose. There's an element missing in an equation. It can be the way you're applying yourself, the way another person's applying themselves. But I think with this situation moving forward, the key to it is slow down. I think your intuition's very high, especially with Mercury moving into Pisces. If this is pertaining to a document of any description, please read the fine print. If you have lost paperwork and you've been waiting on paperwork coming to you, I'm also seeing that can be coming through very soon. But also get your P's and Q's and your ducks in a row. There's a time. The Hangman energy is coming through, but I'm feeling this is more, whatever is going on, there is a spiritual reason why this is happening. The reason the delay has been there, it's been divinely guided. Rejection is the universe's protection. You think the door's been closed. No, it's not. The door's been opened at the right time. You may be energetically, spiritually too far ahead already. It's almost like navigating on a ship. And our egoic mind is saying, I've tried everything. I've been everywhere, man. I've tried everything that's not working. Why isn't this working? What I'm being shown is on a boat, and you have a compass. And of course, we mentioned the compass the other day. We have to redirect it in certain places of the world. Can be by 40 centimeters. You got to re-click it because it's true north, not north. Less in Perth, Western Australia, Australia in general, more at the upper hemisphere. Interesting fact. So there can be a time when, and some of you might be getting unwell, okay? Now, when I say unwell, we're tired. When I'm tired, run down, working too hard, doing too many things, emotional situations coming up, people coming at you, people having expectations on you. There is a reason why this is coming to a close in a dynamic where there's going to be a T-section on the road. But there's things going on behind the scenes that you're directly not seeing. So if you do feel overwhelmed, and I'm being drawn to the two crows on the image, Jack and the beanstalk. If you plant it, it will grow. But what goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. Okay. Again, I'm feeling potentially two energies, two areas of life. There's the moon above the hangman, and it's looking quite black, which can be the eclipse. But at the same time, this shadow energy, wherever you're diving into, in a sense, you need to, there is a point between now and February, you're going to need to recoup. Because you may be doing quite a bit, or there might be quite a bit going on. Can be at an emotional level, can be at a physical level. Any fatigue you have, work with it. It's fine-tuning you like an instrument to prepare you for what's to coming. But there can be other people around you that are emotionally triggered. They're wearing you down, wearing you out. They may have high expectations on you, demands pushing towards you. I'm really seeing that this is several areas, as I said. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 people. Your viewpoint, their viewpoint, polar opposite. It's looking very different. Now, if you had a celebration coming up, it's not going to go according to plan. Remember, everything happens for a reason. Choosing your tribe is quite unique. We're born into this world with our tribe, but sometimes even tribes are human, and yeah, they can muck us around. If there was a celebration or a function or something to that degree, I'm being shown that it may not play out the way you thought. So be cautious of the people you're investing in, regardless of who they are. Use your intuition. You may be having dreams coming through to try and warn you of these two areas. Again, you do need to trust your intuition. Some of them can be to help you actually comprehend what's going on in the 3D. And again, I did mention waking up at 3. You got the 3 of Cups as your particular crowning energy. Now, in an external environment, as you're moving through this month, you do have the 6 of Wands. You're wanting to move forward. People all have their separate ideals as to what's going on, and have explained the external energy of what's playing out. But you alone, in a meditation state, you've got the 3 of Cups in reverse. Too close. And again, this can be where the people, the tribe, and situations, as I mentioned, there can be, and again, I am feeling 3 situations playing out. This can also be movement. Now, if you guys had thought about traveling, it may not happen just yet. I'm also seeing almost like the auroras in the background. Again, I am sensing travel. I'm also feeling as though it's not going to happen right away. Hi, Scotland. So it's at this point, I'm hearing not happening. Now, past tense, if you're reflecting back on the past of where people weren't there for you, of where maybe there was issues within families, tribes, friendships, this is on your mind currently. Moving forward, wanting that situation to be different. Now, you're coming through as the King of Swords. And the King of Pentacles. Now, this again can be pertaining to a person you're directly dealing with. You could be really strict on yourself at the moment and very much in your masculine frequency, dealing with employment, dealing with contracts, dealing with paperwork, having to be a bit of everything to everyone. Hi, Jen. And, it's either somebody's expectation directly onto you or you in general, your mindset, your conditioning that is coming through. But you're very much honed in on an energy of success and you're trying to succeed in this situation. And it's almost like I'm being shown this, you have no choice but to do such. You have no choice but to proceed forward. And it can even be an energy that you're physically taking on yourself. You're going, look, I wanted help in my life. Maybe my life didn't quite plan out the way I wanted to. We then go into a healing process of no silver spoon in the mouth, right? That you realize you can still have these hopes, dreams, and goals and the situation you're tuning into. But on your side of the fence, what are you going to need to do? And I feel this to be like, especially if it's a spiritual connection, there's no ifs and buts about it. It's going to happen. If it's going to be, it's going to be. It's the truth. So looking forward, there is almost like, and look at this, it's like you want to play, you want to test me. I'm going to show you. And this can be an attitude you're taking on. I'll show you what I'm made of. And other people maybe have projected at you for a long time where it's brought you to this space that now you have, it's a bit like somebody saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. You start believing it. You might feel sorry for yourself for a while, hide under a rock. And then you come back out and you're like, bitch, whatever. And it gives you the fire in the belly. And I'm hearing the song, the Britney Spears song, and I'm going to censor, so we'll say R. You want a hot body? You better work, bitch. It's like you've heard it enough, you've seen it enough that whatever you want, whatever you set your mind to, you're gonna make that shit happen. Excuse my French. You've had nobody but you, yet everybody has depended on you. Crazy town. Yes, for a while you might have been a bit frustrated, and there are these energies coming through, and especially in spiritual connections. If you've been through that, it's because once you reach a spiritual connection into union, for those of you who that relates, you can't be codependent. You've got to have your nightlight, you've got to have forget the Bridget Jones's knickers. Like, you've got to have your big girl knickers on, you've got to have your soldier on, whoever you are. That you will no longer be that person that if you've had to be self-reliant, you realize you've always been that. But potentially your fair-based frequency has made you feel penny little, the sky's falling down. But yet when it was occurring to other people, you could step up and you handled it like sawdust. It's crazy when we actually have that epiphany. And we actually realize we've been carrying a lot more than we actually knew because we weren't thinking, we were doing. The art of being present. You want to be a Buddhist monk? Be present. Problem in front of you. Can you deal? Can't you? You problem? Not a you problem. Look at it like that. Everything in moderation. You're trying to get a balance in your complete life. A little bit of chocolate, a little bit of vegetables, a little bit of fun, a little bit of Capricorn in the healthy sense of achieving goals and targets. And sometimes, yes. Then you've got the Eight of Wands in reverse. Don't jump, right? I'm going to pull a clarifier on this because I don't know. You're making a judgment on something. Now, you may be feeling these people are frankly pulling the piss. I'm whispering because I really don't like swearing. Look, I do swear, okay? YouTube has guidelines. Other channels do, but Three of Cups, people not showing up, people not being there for you, people having expectations on you, but yeah, and it's not we have expectations. The crazy thing is at any point in time, when you have an epiphany, if you're choosing to be a show up energy where you can step up, you can show up, you can live up, they've formed an expectation. You set the benchmark high. Then when you're tired, right, you get to this. People are like, what's your problem? I've got X, Y, and Z to get done. And again, the energies can swap. I want to know what this hasty decision is. I think for some of you, you're a bit sick and tired of it. So although it might come across in people's opinions that you're making a hasty decision, by taking your time, doing things in moderation, pacing yourself through you're following your intuition, and it's like, that's all that matters. It's all that matters if you're following your intuition. You have faith in the process. You know that everything happens for a reason. Their mindset is they think that you're moving a bit too fast. Some of them might be feeling as though, hey, you're taking your sweet friggin' time. Having faith in the situation's a bit too much. Are you really prepared? Have you thought this through? Yes, there is the energy coming through where you do need to think things through. And you do need to actually have a balance between work and play, work and family. I feel you moving away from an energy. This can be a direct way of being. It can also be people's egos. You're going to find that there is going to be a bit of ego about at the moment. Yeah, you got the whole Queen of Swords coming through. You do know who you are, okay? You know who you are. You know what you want. You're moving forward. And it is due to, and this can be from a family-related dynamic. My daughter just messaged, so I better hurry this up. She better not call. I'll be so cross. I get stalked by this child, honestly. Cancer eclipse, I'm telling you. Okay, this could be connecting in also with the Cancerian or water sign, but very separately. I'm feeling more to do with the eclipse in Cancer. This situation's transforming you. Now, in the coming weeks, and I'm thinking more towards into the first week of February, it'll start happening. You're making a decision. Some of you are keeping it quite secret. Some of you are just going into the night. Yeah, some of you are also potentially even choosing to move home. But you're keeping your cards close to your chest. You're thinking about what's right for you. And I do feel you have some goals in mind. But you're going to have to look at where you can rely on yourself in the situation. Any questions? Yeah. Forgiveness. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Have compassion. Move beyond the situation. You have compassion for these individuals. But at the same time, you might be looking at them thinking, if you had walked a mile in my shoes, you wouldn't understand. And a lot of times when we're trying to explain to a person, we actually directly don't believe the things we're saying. So check into that. You know, if you're having to self-explain constantly, it's you're telling yourself the story. And you can feel quite uncomfortable while you're doing that if you're trying to help other people explain, you know. So if you're having to do that, you know, have a look at that. Why do you feel the need that you would have to explain to them? Is it their business? But this change of where you're going, you might not quite be prepared. It's going to come about at left center. This is going to be movement. It can be due to external situations. I'm also seeing if somebody, and I'm feeling this is an external energy. If there was a plan directly linking with tribe where a person was going to tie the knot, that's changed. Can just be the date. Can be it wasn't planned correctly, but something's happening. Something's up. Any questions? for earth signs or whomever cross watchers are in the house. Any questions for the people in the house? Because I don't want to let the last video went an hour, I think, 2 hours. And I really do have to get into these zodiac signs for February. No questions. Energy update. What would you like to know? Yeah, it's like if there was a wedding planned, it just feels as though that's change. The date needs changing, or something isn't aligned correctly. There's a missing link. There's something missing. There's something not. And this could be the way the person's thinking. Doesn't feel right here. What would you like to know, Antonella? Did you want me to tune into Leo? It can just be a change of date. Remember, we do have Mercury going retrograde. So if everything's planned and everything's down to a T, you'll be fine. You may choose to change the date. It's more than likely due to the fact that we're going to have Mercury in Pisces. It's going to be... What am I saying? One of the cards that was coming through is directly connected to a celebration and party that can be delayed or changed. It may very separately be, and this is another energy that come through. If you have several members that you're connected to that you don't want to go, you're going to cut them out of it. You just won't, because you don't want the BS. You just may not have particular individuals there. That's another scenario playing out. Where if it's your energy and you've planned it and everything's in direct alignment, it'll be pole opposite, where it'll be you saying, no, sorry, don't come. If you don't have your nice spiritual hat on, don't come. Don't be coming. Yeah, and I can relate to that. Tribes are changing at the moment, so, and it's not, you can even have love and light towards them. It may be that your path is taking you overseas, or that you may not think like-mindedly, and that's okay too. You don't have to think exactly the same. Some paths just go off to grow a bit and come back together. And there's a lot of spiritual energy in the house at the moment because there's a lot of sevens. So if you've been wondering about finances, they shall increase. Thank you for liking the video. Antonella, I'll pick a card for you. Something in a sense of a shift is occurring. I feel you also need to be very careful about a particular person. How do I put it? Be very careful with what you tell that person. That person is taking things out of context. You may feel they've changed, they haven't, and that's with their tribe involved, because they're talking about family. Also, with a family-related dynamic, there can be some paperwork that comes up. Meditate upon a situation as well. You might also have an anniversary coming up of either a birthday, a passed over loved one's date. Their energies around as well. I am also seeing there is going to be a social event. This social event does feel as though, look, it can be a baptism, a christening, a birthday. The energy of the loved one who's passed over is going to be present. I also do feel a friend is getting engaged. Yeah, that's what's come through. My twin and his partner split last week. Cancer said yes, I feel a lot of the transformations are happening more so this year. The masculine frequencies at the moment, it's really unique because a lot of the frequencies of karmic energies have been coming through, and I 9 times out of 10 don't even bother with karmic energies. But we have karmic frequency inside us that we directly, energetically attract. I do feel for masculines in general, where their mental space is and their mindset. Many of them are aware of the 3D nature of dynamics going on. Many of them, due to past tense scenarios, will choose not to come towards you right away because they are wanting to actually be at a better frequency, because there have been lessons learnt. But some of them, if it is divinely guided, be it you both have choice or you don't, you will be thrown back together again. It's all in divine order. But if you can understand in any disconnection from one path, starting another, it's even like the eclipses, it's got to be eased out of, eased into. And some of them are very sharp and cutting. And sometimes you can be in a connection and it can be well and truly over before you've left. It depends on who you are and how that connection was. So just be really mindful of the frequency. How are you feeling? Are you open to it? Do you feel the frequency of change within the connection? But a lot of them are moving forward and they want this fresh start. This is really the energy they're wanting. It's like they're taking the leap of faith, they're moving forward, and it is really wanting this new beginning, but needing the slate clean. So a lot of what's transforming at the moment behind the scenes is clearing the slate for that movement forward. So any stagnation is due to that. Okay, does that make sense? But there is movement. It's not there. I feel most of it will be this year for many. Any other questions connecting in with earth signs or other? And I'll put the phone the wrong way, so you keep seeing my thumb. I've got to do it the other way next time. I've got my office set up for the recordings for February, so I'm recording lives here, and I've got that there recording the zodiac signs for February. I'm going to be a very busy bee today. So who will be there, who won't be for the birthday? It might be where you're physically just torn in 2 locations and it doesn't quite go according to plan. Do remember, this is a very touchy time at the moment with the astrology. So if you're in your mindset of understanding that everyone in tribes and groups, that you could hear gossip through the grapevine that things aren't going so great. Because tribe members and people with differences, they're spreading and they're moving. So some people are actually going to start moving, and this can even be overseas. I already did, I mentioned that I'm feeling it's more to do with, you're thinking it's to do with next eclipse. Most of the transformation is going to be happening, I think, this year. Many of you within, I feel by March, most of this movement is going to be picking up and amping up. It's going to be a very busy year, but communication directly is moving. We do have the Capricorn eclipse, which will be playing out towards June, July. Where's the date? June. Yes. Got one in June and one in July, and that's really that tire effect. I totally agree. Sometimes when people state things, it's because they need to, and you've got to check what you're doing in your life. If TF is saying they want to move overseas, A, are you in union? B, are they in a relationship and they're leaving to go overseas? Or are they, because sometimes it can be we're running. Hi, Heather. How are you, love? Long time no chat. But yeah, a lot of people in general, with this is with the nose being in Gemini as well, because it's all about movement, Mercury, communication. We've got the Sagittarius energy coming through, which is directly linked to Jupiter, but Jupiter happens to be in Capricorn at the moment, so it's taking on two energies. It's taking on the energy in a meditated state of the past, of what we're supposed to be moving towards. So it depends on the way you communicate. Sometimes if they've said directly to you, I want to go overseas, it's actually a direct question. Do you want me to go overseas? Are you going to fight for me? And you'll be like, okay, well, whatever's going. Does that float your boat? But you've got the communication is crucial in TF journey. When the communication comes, and being very direct is very important. 9 times out of 10 we don't, due to a pain body experience. It's really important that you actually develop that. And don't fear what breaks. Not sure where the super chat went. I don't know. It's up the top there. You said Cancer. Question. Cancer said yes. Could what he saying yes to come about near the Lunar New Year? I feel it's a delay. Okay. What I'm getting from that question, how do I put it? I feel it's a tactical response to give himself a bit of time, but it's not going to work out the way he thought regardless. So what he's saying yes to, I'm seeing a path he's planned, right? There seems to be this energy where he's planned a path. He's planned a path that's a tactical response. I'm also seeing a potential job, and this could be elsewhere. I'm also seeing what he's telling one person and what he's telling another is polar opposite. But then universe is actually going to shift this frequency around. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's for you, Jen. Yeah. Be careful. But it's going to happen anyway. So it's like you don't have to be careful. But just don't buy into, it's different to what he thinks it's going to be. I'll say that. The Cancer, it's different. There's also a grandmother energy surrounding this person. And other situations playing out. Yeah, there's this. Any other questions? While my neck needs to crack, I'm feeling slightly uncomfortable in this chair. Cool. Yeah, just it's a bit like that card where they're stuck in the cobwebs and they feel they're stuck, and it's a delayed. It's all because of healing, Yeah. Whenever you're ready, doll. Okay, love and light. Thank you for all of you who have joined. Please feel free after the fact. What zodiac sign are they, Angela? Cancerians at the moment are going through a very unique transformative state. I feel the process of what your TF is going through, they're thinking quite a bit about you. They're also thinking about Some of the ways in which you handle yourself, they're not wanting to make a stupid decision, but they're also dealing with another energy. Who is this energy? I'm also seeing children around this person. Doesn't have to be their kids. It could be another person's kids. I just feel children. Why am I saying children? Who's these children? Yeah, I just feel children. Also seeing how no matter how they've applied themselves to the situation, and that really came through in the water signs read, how they've directly placed themselves into the situation and they've moved around it like and it's not like a manipulative response. It's I'm trying to be very empath orientated, understanding, compassionate, but it just hasn't changed the cycle. Okay. Hi, love. It hasn't changed the cycle, so it's really affecting their health at the moment. Nobody can exist in anyone's reality while they have energies going on. So we do in a pain body experience take it personal. It's not that they don't have energy for you. If they can't love themselves, they're unable to reciprocate that frequency. It's a pain body experience. But while you're trying to hold the frequency up till it transforms, it's like holding a pot up to the sky and then trying to find a raindrop to manipulate the growth. It's like the growth happens in its own good time. But, the healthy boundaries is yourself. It's like, okay, this person is really up in the head at the moment. Well, they can't be present here with me. Hi, I noticed I was about to say something. How is everyone tonight? We're like living the dream. I'm trying to open myself up to my soulmate, but I keep having nightmares of twin. Why is this energy so strong at the time? Energetically, you get to a place where you are ready to move forward. And see, this is where you've got to understand it goes both ways. Your twin can be in the most toxic situation if you're a soul connection. Living in duality and living in truth is about not what the outcome is. Okay, the ice cream analogy I keep using, I need to get like a fake ice cream. If I'm good, I'll get the ice cream. But the reality is you want the ice cream, right? So the thing is, if you love this person, but you've decided to choose a soulmate because they're not moving, and you're still in love with this person. If you are, they're physically not a ghost because they're actually in the ethers. And if you potentially don't consider this soulmate energy as high in a vibration as TF, they're going to tune into you. And if it's not divinely guided and you're entering another energy into your ethers without like sort of finalizing that, they can energetically tune into that. If you wish to proceed forward, you still can. You just need to maintain the blowing out of the energy. So when it comes in, you may, if you're not thinking of them and they're connecting with you, they feel you moving forward. So it's triggering them to ascend. Oh, the fun. I didn't enjoy that. Yeah. Like psychic attack, I tell you. I'd just be gardening and doing my thing. I was like really enjoying my life. And yeah. We got some interesting things going on lately. Tribes are being interesting. Yeah. Some things that need to change aren't on your side of the fence. They're on the others, and it's divinely guided. Okay? But these situations in a tie-up sense are coming through with the frequencies at the moment. They are coming through. It's quiet at the moment. It's going to amp up. If you need a booking, link below. See you during the month. Yeah, just blow the energy out, Dulce. When it comes in, breathe in like you're blowing energies out. Have you ever seen those movies and it's like they're blowing bees and things to that degree? There is a bit of that undertone at the moment of, I'll just say it, black magic. Okay, there's that undertone there at the moment. It's like dark energy. Blow the energy out. You know, only those things can directly connect if you are energetically feeding it. If you feel it, you can cleanse the home with gin, like gin videos. You can use smudge sticks, sage, wash yourself, tune into other things. Focus on something else. What was the other question? But breathing it out and then tune into something else. You got to shift the energy altogether. Oh boy. Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Caution around this time. Were there extreme circumstances to the situation? Because you know I'm not a lawyer. Future and movement always occurs, but there may be reasons why energies are separated. Okay, we do need to trust in the process. Uranus and Taurus is going through huge changes. So these changes are really quite spiritual. Quite spiritual in a sense, but they've had other things happen. They've had other things to reach them to this place. Who was the person that passed over? Is it linking in with him though, right? It's more his side. Yeah, it comes and goes. It's really bipolar, this thing. And it's all overactive masculine frequency, you know. Women need to be too many things these days. And hey, look, it's both sides really. We all do need to be. Yeah, I'm feeling an energy kind of playing out with them. They've had it hard. They have had it hard, right? But at the same time, there is a frequency of a person that passed over. It shifted their energy. Trust me, it doesn't work. I had Bonjela. I had that. I'm allergic to codeine. I even went there. I need the bloody thing excavated, I'm telling you. But, and this is really where Librans have been, quite honestly, and this is not a Libran read. But Librans really have been the scale. I'm telling you, Librans be always putting the scale down here. And everyone's needs are up here. I'm compassionate, I'm understanding, and self-care has been coming up, hasn't it? And Juno happens to be in Libra for a whole year. It's going to go retrograde in Feb, so people are going to be messed up. You're going to mess with Librans? Don't mess with Librans. It's not going to happen. Giggle and I were talking about this. We were laughing because, you know, love be given, but love can be taken. And it's not even love. It's like self-worth. Like, you know, digging your head under the sand, self-worth. Yeah, just interesting. What'd you say, Antonella? I am training to be a paralegal. I have rewatched as I am at the hairdressers. Okay. You're getting, good girl. You're getting your hair on. You always look good. Women. Yeah, she always does look good. She keeps her things in check. You're too hard on yourself, though, woman. Honestly, you are too hard on yourself. But yeah, I'm feeling there has been a lot of things going on. Look, I do feel there has been an energy with that person that broke bail. They do have energies of people that have passed over. They have seen some pretty crappy crap. They're quite panicked to do with a lot of situations playing out in their life at the moment. But they're really bored. They're bored of, they want a different life. They really want a different life. And I'm hearing don't run. This too shall pass. Don't run. Wow. Does that make sense, Emily? I'm also seeing there is something that they may be doing, and I do feel they're going to go back in. Right. Back in. There's training of some description. There's going to be training, and it's mastering an art in a certain thing. There's a reason why this is playing out. Are they very linked in with sport and exercise and boxing or something to that degree? Got an interesting energy. Well, I'm feeling as though there's going to be some different techniques that he's going to be using. And I don't know whether it's just going to come about naturally. I am seeing mechanic orientation, but I'm seeing more upskilling with something. So there can be some upskilling going on there. Also, I am seeing exercise orientation and a connection to children. So in general, this person is actually really good with kids. But because of life in the way they see things. Is that hidden home? Do you understand what I'm saying? Could be like they're a therapist. It's freaky shit. They really underestimate themselves because this person could, through sports, through people he knows, people that he's linking in with, he could attract a lot of people and younger generations that, well, yeah, these are the things that's being shown to me. So through this process, he is going to be able to spiritually guide people. But he needs to go through that and come out the other side. He needs to understand it's time. But I'm also seeing rehabilitation in a sense of many aspects. There's this exercise routine, healing, dealing with triggers, emotional triggers, pain body experiences. And it will be done very quickly. It'll be done very quickly to the point where, how do you put it? This person will achieve the impossible in such a short space of time. That's what I'll say. But I do feel they're going to do it. They're going to be fine. I don't have a bad feeling. You're a very supportive person as well. You just have to have faith in yourself. Faith in the process. I don't feel the person has intents to not see you again or anything to that degree. It's just a shitty process that is being completed. I'll say that. Love and light, and I'll talk to you later.